YouTube, what is good? Welcome to another video. Now in this video, I'm going to update you on the current state of the trucking industry in 2022. A lot is going on around the world with our economy, with our currency, and just with the trucking industry in general. So I'm going to update you all. But before we get into this video, man, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I haven't posted a video in about 3 weeks. So since this is my first video back, hit the like button, help me get 1,000 likes on this video in the first day. I would greatly appreciate it. Also subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video. And lastly, man, drop a comment below. Let's get right into it, man. There are a lot of things going on in the world right now, and one of the obvious things going on in 2022 of March is the war between Russia and Ukraine, which I would like to send my prayers and condolences to everyone who is directly impacted by that war. But what has happened is a chain of events. And the chain of events, one of the things is that there's been a lot of sanctions and things placed on Russia, but one of the biggest headlines in the news a few days ago was that the U.S. would no longer get oil from Russia. This is kind of crazy because now the U.S. has to find oil, another place to get oil from. It's kind of crazy because like when Trump was in office, we were becoming more energy and oil dependent. So basically what that means is instead of getting oil from other countries, Trump's agenda and his plan was to get our own oil and our own energy from America instead of buying from other places, which will help lower the cost of fuel and increase the economy. And also what Trump wanted to do was start selling oil to other countries. This is what I'm learning. What's happening in Russia and Ukraine is basically like a power struggle. And all of this stuff is starting to affect trucking because trucks use a lot of fuel. And it's kind of crazy because before the pandemic, the trucking industry was suffering. Once the pandemic happened, the trucking industry saw a increase in everything, an increase in rates, an increase in demand, an increase in freight, an increase in everything. So there was this huge bubble in trucking for the last 2.5 years. Now something is taking place where fuel is starting to get so high, but rates are either staying the same or they're dropping. So what's starting to happen is we were spending maybe an average of $3.50 on fuel last year. Now we're spending $5.50, $6, and it's steadily rising and increasing as the days go on, especially because of this feud and this war between Russia and Ukraine. And Russia is a large supplier of oil around the world. So now what we have to do is start negotiating with other countries like Iran, Venezuela, and hopefully this happens soon, because the longer that it takes for America to find another supplier of oil, especially because we're not using our own oil reserves, what's going to happen is the cost of fuel is going to go up. Rates are either going to stay the same, they're going to drop, or they're not going to increase enough to where people can still make a profit on their trucks. And what that's going to cause is a lot of small companies to go out of business. Another thing that's happening is there is inflation. There is huge inflation. I just started looking at trucks, and trucks that used to be $40,000, they're going for over $115,000, $130,000. And what I'm afraid for other people is that they're going to put themselves in a situation where they're spending more money than what the equipment is worth. So a person who is new to the industry or kind of unaware of what is going on, and they're hearing all of these good things that happened over the past couple of years, they're going to come in, they're going to finance, they're going to lease, they're going to purchase equipment that is way, way, way overpriced. And when they get that equipment that's overpriced, they're not going to be able to pay back that debt or pay back that loan or pay back that investment that they made. And what it's going to cause them to do is go into a hole, and then it's going to be hard to climb out of that hole. So there's a lot of things that are going on right now, and it's very, very key to be strategic in the way you move and the way that you place your finances, because no one really knows what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? No one knows it's going to get better, it's going to get worse, it's going to stay the same. But what I can say is that these situations and everything is just a learning lesson. All you can do is just do your research, prepare, and plan, and just move accordingly. You know, if you saving your money, if you moving right, and you studying and you taking your time and you being patient, then things are gonna happen. When I got into this industry, I got a truck with 200,000 miles for $70,000. I'm seeing trucks now with the same exact specs for the price that I bought my truck originally, which is about a year and a half later, for $200,000. So they're selling trucks $130,000 more than what I originally bought my truck for. And if I was a new individual coming into trucking, I wouldn't even think about purchasing a truck in this market, because it's really a seller's market. It's not a buyer's market. And the way the economy is going, because they pumped so much money into the economy, because they did so many things, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be a crash. No one knows when the crash is gonna happen, but there's going to be a crash and there's gonna be a shift. So it's gonna go from a seller's market to a buyer's market, to where there's so many trucks and there's so much inventory available that demand drops, supply increases, which is going to cause the prices to drop. So if you just play it cool and you play it smart and you just sit back and you be patient, you're gonna win. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment TRF circulate, because you gotta circulate money. But I'm gonna leave this video off with this. In order to predict the past, in order to predict the future, you gotta study the past. So you gotta go into the past and study, old like economies, old depressions, old economic booms, old things that happened in the economy and around the world, to kind of predict what's happening now and what's gonna happen later down the line. But the current state of trucking is crazy. But if you made it to the end of this video, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also drop a comment, and lastly, man, subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video. I'll see you on the next one.